Welcome you back to my YouTube channel, Real Gals Fish. And in this info vid, we're going to take a look at the anatomy of a fishing rod. And I just happen to have one right here. Now I know what you're thinking. She's lost it. She's showing a nice fishing rod. Well, yeah, it doesn't matter what fishing rod I show you because they all have the same characteristics. So don't let the diminutive size of this rod fool you, okay? Now all fishing rods, whether it's a casting rod, spinning rod, fly fishing rod, or center pin, have basically three different sections. They have your tip, which usually comes from the tip top, which is your top line guide, down to just below or just above the second line guide from the top, usually about a foot. Then from there down to about where the line guide before the handle is considered the midsection, and then from here down to the end of the handle is considered the butt. So let's take a look at the butt section of the fishing rod, okay? The butt contains the handle, and the handle in itself has three pieces as well. We have the handle butt, which is used for leverage when fighting that surging fish. We have here is the reel seat with also the grip, where ideally your finger and thumb should be when you're holding your rod. Now in this particular rod, the reel screw is also here too. This locks down your reel in the handle of your fishing pole, okay? Sometimes it's located in the tip, sometimes it's located in the back. Now materials that the butt is made of, sometimes they're synthetic materials or they can be made of cork. As to which is the best, I'll leave it up to you to determine. It's all what's comfortable for you, okay? Alright, so let's go now to the midsection of the blank. This is usually where most of your line guides will be. And notice that your line guides diminish in diameter as we go down towards the tip. And there's a reason for that, and I'm going to explain that in a minute. Now just up here, usually about a foot back from the tip top is your very last line guide. The smallest one on the blank is the tip. Tip is very, very important in a fishing rod because it's this area of the fishing rod that's going to determine the sensitivity and the flexibility of your fishing rod altogether, okay? And this is an area that when you damage it, you're invariably going to ruin the fishing rod as a whole. So be very careful of the tip of your fishing rod. Now going back to the line guides, as I said before, largest line guide is usually down here in the butt and they decrease in diameter as we get to the tip. This is typical of a spinning rod or a fly fishing rod. And the reason why you have the diminishing diameters of your line guide is because your line, as it comes off your reel when you're casting, has a tendency to loop. Now to channel the line down the blank so that eventually when it comes out of the tip top on your cast it's nice and straight, you have a series of line guides that get smaller and smaller. And this effectively irons out the line. So by the time it gets to here and you're casting, you should have a nice straight line, a fishing line. Otherwise, you'll be detracting from both your cast and retrieve if you didn't have this system of diminishing diameters on your line guides. Now line guides themselves, they're pretty tough, eh? Some of them made of tungsten, depending on the type of fishing rod or the cost of the fishing rod. They usually have an insert inside them. This is aluminum in this case. You can also get ceramic or plastic. And that is to allow your fishing line to flow smoothly through the line guides. Periodically, you need to check your line guides to make sure that they're not scuffed or chipped because that can interfere in your cast and retrieval. And also to make sure there's no debris in the line guides. Sometimes when you're reeling in, your line picks up algae or even weed, and sometimes it gets trapped in the guides itself. So it's important to make sure that your line guides are clear, okay? Now, blank of the fishing rod, of course, is this piece right here, all right? Blanks are made of several materials. They can be made of rolled fiberglass, graphite fiber. This one particularly is a solid piece of carbon. You can get solid graphite. In most cases, the blanks are hollow, but like I said before, you can get solid ones. Which are the better ones? Again, I'm going to leave it up to you. A lot of anglers say that the solid blank is a lot more sensitive than one that is hollow. Also, it's certainly a lot stronger, but it's also a lot more expensive, okay? So there is the basics of your fishing rod. Very simple. Tip, midsection, and butt. And I'm Sharon for Real Gals Fish, and until the next time, tight lines.
Well, y'all come back now, you hear?